Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. We are on the last of April in 1983, our 60th episode here. April 30th, 1983, and 83 is rolling right along. Many debuts and features on the debuting talent. I've got one more episode in the can that I'm going to record momentarily, but hopefully going to catch up with the rest of May tomorrow. Anyway, David Von Erich and Iceman King Parsons talk about teaming up because that's what they're going to be doing in the time to come, and they are very supportive of each other. Parsons is endorsed as a Von Erich family friend from quite a while back. They've done a masterful job over the past few weeks and a couple of months, if you've been watching, of getting Parsons ready to be a semi-main eventer. Brian Adias we haven't seen in a while, so maybe he had an injury or maybe he went to wander somewhere else. I think Parsons, in a lot of ways, is his fill-in. We open with the first match of the week for programming, and that is the Mongol, managed by Skandor Akbar, against, oddly enough, Chris Adams, who we saw debut last week. I'm not necessarily sure that this was the best of fits, as they are significantly different styles. Mongol being a very big, brutish type fellow, and the benefit of his opponent Adams is certainly that he is a more technical star. So certainly Clash of Styles would be an understatement, but they don't seem to be worried about that here. Mongol goes to work on him early with some striking and old school wrestling punches, as you'd have it. Obviously, those look much much different now in the face of mixed martial arts and the like, but here they work, and Adams is dominated for the first several minutes, chokes and use of the ring, use of the ropes, use of whatever he can. Mongol is made to look pretty strong. However, he does end up bouncing all over the ring a little bit for Adams in the middle part of the match. However, Adams even gets the super kick off to the midsection, does not seem to faze the Mongol, hits a second one and sends the big man down, but it is clear that the Mongol being prepared for bigger things, because he's standing up to Adams relatively simply and dumps him over the top rope to the floor. Don't know if that was intentional, but the referee certainly seems to be admonishing him as if it is. He is raising his hand as though he is the victor of the match. Big top rope dropkick from Adams is the result of his arrogance, anyway. And we then see them kind of brawling it out, and the referee tries to get between them. The match stopped here. I believe the official did disqualify. Mongol sends the official to the side, and then we move on to a Chavo Guerrero interview, talking about his heritage, talks about being from Mexico, but really wanting to make it in Texas, talks about wanting to be, as does anyone who's a wrestler, the NWA champion. Does a bit of a promo in Spanish, perhaps phasing Lothario out, or maybe they'll team somewhere down the road. Only the second time I think we've seen Guerrero here. The Guerreros in Texas and on the Mexican border, obviously, because of their heritage, a big deal, and Chavo no exception to that. We then see the match that is kind of surprising, as gorgeous Jimmy Garvin faces off against Chavo. This is a definitive clash in styles, as Chavo, the lighter guy, tries to move around, tries to do some lucha stuff. Garvin wants to stall and do holds as much as he can. Not that there's anything wrong with holds, but again, there's definitely a I don't even know how to say it, but a styles clash. Interesting that this seems to be the week for styles clashes. Garvin, who's a former Texas champion, willing to dance and prance and do whatever he needs to do to get attention without doing very much in the ring. Certainly more of the walk and talk and gaga, but he can get it done. Head Scissors is controlling the match for Chavo for a good number of minutes. Sunshine on the outside, less than impressed with Chavo. Of course, today she'd probably be trying to interfere. However, Garvin is able to hold his own as a wrestler as he gets the leg grapevine, and they spend quite a few minutes actually working over each other's legs, knees, and lower extremities. When it finally gets back to a vertical base, Garvin does take the advantage for at least the first few minutes or so. We see a Mexican surfboard by Guerrero at a point, which might be the first time that many Americans had seen the move, certainly in Texas. Um, and Garvin does spend quite a bit of time on the floor to break the momentum of the match, but also stall it out a little bit. Hangman style maneuver gets the submission victory for Guerrero, and that is certainly not happy for Garvin. Then we see Bill Ratke and Tom Ernesto Jr. Handicap match for Kamala. Obviously, Skandar Akbar not impressed with the singles competition that his man is getting. Arman Hussein actually endorses and is seconding the enhancement talent, so he wants to get rid of Akbar and group. So basically, what you have is two managers feuding against each other, two heel managers feuding against each other, while the Von Erichs are consumed with the Freebirds. So interesting times here in Texas. Once again, Kamala with the multicolored paint on his nose, but the traditional white and black on the rest of his body, primarily white. Kamala with power moves early, as is to be expected. Kamala does not barely leave his feet, does win the match with a big splash to the back of one opponent, and gets the victory quickly. We move into our main event as David Von Erich and Iceman King Parsons take on the fabulous Freebirds. I believe it is Roberts and Hayes this time out. And the match breaks down pretty simply there. Gordy on the outside, not getting involved in the match early, does get physically involved as would be expected. Jimmy Garvin on the outside, taking notes and trying to cause some degree of trouble. Garvin always wearing something colorful, which I think is useful. Great to see Parsons in the main event here, as it gives credence to an already small roster, but a endorsement from the Von Erichs goes a long, long way in Texas, probably longer than anything else would. And so the heels, the Freebirds, stalling. Most notable with stalling is Buddy Roberts, as is to be expected. We then move into the mid part of the match, where the Freebirds don't seem to have the best of communication, as the attempted tag off by Parsons is there. He's using a lot of head scissors, unique maneuvers. Buddy Roberts taking the majority of the match and the punishment for his team. However, Hayes does flop around like a fish when he needs to get in there. Von Erich and Parsons coming off together as a cohesive unit when needed, so that is useful and helpful. And Hayes and Roberts do bail to the outside, not really wanting to overextend their welcome, but also kind of see that the Freebirds like to stall a bit here, and we see that here. Both Freebirds sent together. Von Erich goes out over the top rope backwards. I don't know if the referee sees that at first or what that looks like, but obviously the fans are there. Garvin and Von Erich get in each other's way. Garvin is still at ringside and interferes in the re-entry to the ring, causing a disqualification finish. So Garvin and David Von Erich not done with each other by a long shot. Freebirds gain an advantage here as we close April of 1983 here in World Class. We'll be back with the beginning of May momentarily.